we have this file called file.txt. When we open cat file.txt and enter, this file has some content, as you can see on the screen. In this video, we are going to learn about the head and tail command in the Linux environment. My name is Nelson, and I please request you to follow and subscribe to this channel, and also click the notification button for every content I bring to you. Today we are working in the cyber subdirectory of the subdirectory practical cyber security, and in this directory we have this subdirectory, this file.txt, and the practical.txt. We are first of all going to read about the head command. What is head? We enter. Head is simply output the first part of files. That is what we are going to look at in this manual command, and we quit. Then we say man tail and press enter. And tail is the opposite of head, outputs the last part of files. Then we can also go to head and say help. We press enter. We are going to try two switches on these two commands: the -c, which is print the first number of bytes of each file, and the -n, that is print first number of lines instead of the first 10. And that is the help menu for the head command. And for the tail command, we say tail, then help, and press enter. The tail command also has these two switches, -c and -n, doing the same thing. We may not try out all these switches, but I please request you to try some of these switches and comment below for whatever output you obtained in your system. First of all, by default, these two give us 10 lines if we don't use any switch. If we say head and file.txt and press enter, this head command gives us the first 10 lines of this file.txt. These are the first 10 lines of this file.txt. We can also go for tail and say file.txt and press enter. This also gives us the last 10 lines of the file.txt. We are going to try out the -n on these two commands, and we are simply going to say head and say -n. Let us say we want one line of file.txt and press enter. You can see it prints the first line of this file.txt. And if we say tail -n and 1 of file.txt and press enter, the last line contains a blank space. That means it's a line without any words in it. We can also increase this and say head -n, let us say 20 of file.txt and press enter. This -20 gives us the first 20 lines of file.txt. As you can see, it has increased from the first one we had. Now we have some more content. When we also go for the tail -n and 20 of file.txt. This is the blank line of this file that contains nothing, and as you see, we still have more content than we had for the first command. We also can go for the -c. We say head -c, and with this -c we are simply printing the number of bytes. When we say head -c and we say 1 of file.txt and press enter, what we are telling this command head is that we want the first byte of the file.txt. The letter C is human readable, but the computer does not know that this is letter C. The computer uses binary digits to understand that this is letter C, and after understanding this is letter C, it translates it into a human readable language for us to understand, so that we can be able to interact with this system. The computer reads the file in form of bits or bytes or hexadigits, based on how the system was developed. With this file.txt, we have told this head command to give us the first byte of this file.txt. That means each letter in a file is a byte. A bit is a smallest unit of data in computing, and a byte consists of 8 bits. That means when we say 1 byte, this letter C has 8 bits. You can increase to any number of bytes you want. You can say head minus C and let us say 10 bytes of file.txt and press enter. Now you see we've gotten this as the 10 bytes. We can also increase it to head minus C and we say we want 1000 bytes of file.txt and press enter. You see this is the content we get. These are the 1000 bytes of this file.txt, and that is what the head command does. When we go to the tail command, it behaves the same way, but this reads the file from the bottom line going upwards. The head command reads the file from the top going down, but the tail command reads the file from bottom going upwards. And this tail command, when we say tail and we say minus C and we say 1 byte of file.txt and enter, we remember in this file the last line was empty. That is why we see nothing printed, because the last line was empty. But if we try to say tail minus C and we say something like 100 bytes of file.txt and press enter, since I said this tail command reads from the bottom, you see now we have the empty line, then it is going upwards, because when we increase here and say tail minus C and we say something like 110 of file.txt and press enter, you see at the first one, this minus 100, it was ending on this one, society Y, it was ending here. But when we increased to 110, it added these more letters or words to this output. And that is how these two commands behave in Linux. And with all that, thank you for being attentive. We catch up in the next video about more and less in the Linux environment.